Hey everybody, Steve here with Printavo, and welcome to part 2 of our 3-part series on creating, customizing, and fulfilling merch stores. In our previous video, we showed you how we built, we built this very base store from a Printavo invoice. In this video, we're going to cover how we can customize this store to make it a little more visually appealing. Right now, it is functional. It's just at its most basic. And then in our next and last video, we will show you how to fulfill orders in the store. So again, this is the very basic store we built from a Printavo invoice. And as I mentioned, this is fully functional. If I started clicking into products here, I could start ordering them. But let's make this, a little nicer to look at, right? And sort of a little more visually appealing to help us and also, our company and our customer achieve their goals. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pop over into the settings for this store. And just as if you need a reminder on how to get there, I've simply gone to Printavo Merch. Here's my store's overview. And this top one is the one that we're working on right now, this fundraising for Rosati's. I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and you'll see our orders would be listed here. We don't have any orders yet, so obviously there's nothing. Now, a couple of places to look at here. We have our orders and our products, right? So orders, no orders yet. If we look at our products, we can see our products that are in the store. We can also go to the store, but from more actions, we can view the store, which we've already done, right? And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this tab just so we can sort of go back and forth and see the progress of the store along the way. And then our settings. If you want to archive the store and then just bring it back later, if the customer needs it again, you can do that. If you need to add new products, you can do that from the product page. And then, of course, your toggle switch to turn the store on and off. But what I want to start with here actually are our settings, right? So we can start beautifying our shop, so to speak, our store, so to speak. So when we go to our settings, the default tab you're taken to is the store information tab. And I had mentioned in our previous video, you can always change the store name, right, whenever you want. That won't impact the customer. This URL, if you do change this, again, just to reiterate, make sure if you do change this, you send the new URL to your customers so they can distribute the appropriate URL. Because if this changes and a customer tries to go to the old URL, then it just won't work, right? Next, we have our logo. Now, what is the logo, right? Well, the logo is what's going to appear up here. The default is your shop's logo. So in this case, it's our wooden cotton shop, but we want to change this. Let's put our Rosati's logo up here. And I'm just dragging and dropping from my other screen. And you can do everything at once here. I'm going to be saving intermittently just so you can see the evolution and just notate the changes that are taking place. So now that I've saved that, I've uploaded that logo. When I reload, we have our store logo here. Next, we have our headline, right? What's the headline for this store? So maybe fundraising, right? Store for the staff of Rosati's. So where does that appear, right? I'll save that. I'll pop back to our store here, and I'll refresh it. Right? A fundraising store for the staff of Rosati's. Great. Next, we have our banner. Right? So this store currently does not have any banner image, so there's nothing to compare it to. But when I go to my banner, I'll go ahead. I'm actually going to use the same image, but you'll certainly notice the difference once I refresh. I'm going to save this now. Pop back here and refresh, and here's our banner image. Now, just a little tip here while we're talking about the banner image. I have seen some shops, use the banner image pretty creatively and, maybe put the store terms and conditions there, right? And just maybe get, you can get as creative as you want. You can put, text in your cool image. You can put, just like neat designs. You can put whatever you want in the banner image. But again, it's going to be the prominent center-facing image on your store, right? Now, the description is just maybe just sort of, say all store will be open until August 13th. We will start shipping orders on August, 20th. Right. We can also put more details about the fundraising part of this store, right? So, um, $10 of all shirt and hoodie sales will go to the Rosati staff, and then we'll say 50% of what's going on here? Fine, sure. 50% of tote bag sales will as well. Just very basic description. I'll go ahead and save this and refresh, and then there is our description. Now, the description does allow for some very basic HTML editing. So if I wanted to make some, bold or different header levels, and just to kind of go back to what I was saying about the banner image, some people use the banner image to kind of combine, graphics and store terms like this. You can do whatever you like there. But just to show the individual description feature here, that's what that does, right? So you can also password protect the store. I'm not going to do that in this case, but that is an option. Sales tax, you want to automatically or manually calculate it. That's not going to help us too much in this demonstration, but it is there for you. And then next we have our store close date and time. So I'm just going to go through these individually quickly. Now the store close date, you don't have to have one. This could be open forever, right? Maybe you just fulfill orders every 2 weeks. But I think we said, the 20th, right? August 20th is going to be our store close date. We'll say just about, midnight, right? And then you pick the time zone for the store close date. Now, if I save this, right, and I refresh, you're not going to see any changes. Right? All we've done is, if you think about our merch store overviews, right, we just now have a store close date associated with our store. So if I want to sort by close date, we can do that. Right? If I want to display a countdown timer, right, on the store, now if I go to my store and refresh it, hey, we got 15 days to order all this stuff. And we always, if your store does have a close date, we always recommend using the countdown timer. I don't recall the exact percentage, but the stores with countdown timer, they create that sense of urgency, and they our stores with timers sell significantly more than stores without timers. So just a little tip there, definitely use the timer if you have a close date in mind. Right? And then you also have the option to auto close the store. Again, that's not going to change anything on the display of the store here, but it does prevent you from having to stay up until midnight on the 20th of August and click the button to turn off the store. It's a personal preference. Right? So now I'll go ahead and everything's all saved. Right? And now let's look at our delivery methods. We'll kind of work our way down our tabs here. So delivery methods are going to say, all right, how do we want, what options do we want to offer our customer for them to receive the products, right? So the options are shipping or pickup. Right? Now, shipping is going to pull, the options for shipping, are going to pull from your Easy Post account, your synced Easy Post account. So that is required for Printavo merch. But in this case, I just have, USPS and UPS, great. And what you can do is offer flat rate shipping. Right? This was inspired by customer feedback and request. So if you want to offer, quote unquote, free shipping, right, I can just put $0 here in my flat rate shipping. And then a lot of shops, what they do is they say, hey, free shipping for the store, we will take care of that. But really what you're doing is you just bake the cost of the shipping into the products themselves. Right? Now, if I want to offer pickup as an option as well, let's say the old, here, let's do Wrigley Field. All right, no, let's just do the old Printavo offices, right? So we used to be at 227 West Monroe Street in Chicago. You'll see we have the autofill, the Google addresses, right? So when people start searching for an address, and this is on the customer side too, when they're ready to check out, they have this, but you have it too, right? So I can select the proper address, Chicago, Illinois. I don't have to fill anything out. If I did want to get specific, I could put, Suite 5200, so people know where to go. And maybe I have, I don't know, the school gym at, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, right? School gym, which is actually, I guess, the White House. Let's do that. Keep it accurate. Right. So again, auto saving that information. If actually I don't want to do the White House, I can remove that location. Super duper easy. And then last on this page, we have our delivery instructions. And then this is going to be just sort of the information that when the customer's checking out, it's just sort of a final reminder. A lot of times it's just, that thing again, we will begin order fulfillment 2 business days after, shop close or the store closes. Right, the store closes. If you've selected shipping, we will email you when your order has shipped. Right, just sort of basic stuff like that. You put whatever you want, but your order shipped. Oh, sure. Thanks, Grammarly. Great. Now I'll save that. And again, that's not going to change anything on the front of the store. That's just going to be when people are checking out. Coupons. Right? You can create coupons in a Printavo merch store. So in this case, I'm going to do Steve 100, right? Because I want to be able to take you through the checkout process and I don't want to have to pay for it, right? So I'll do Steve 100 to give me, now you can do $1 discount or a percentage discount. I want 100% off, right? Because I ain't paying. You can set the maximum amount of redemptions. You can set an expiration date, and you can add as many coupons as you'd like. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. I'm just going to actually add that to my clipboard by copying it real quick so I don't have to type it later. We'll save that. And again, no forward-facing changes on the front of the store, but when I check out, that'll allow me to get my 100% off. And sorry, that just took a second. You'll see your coupon has been saved. Next, we have our fundraising page. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, move to our fundraising page here on the sub options, and let me remind myself what I set. So we said $10 of all hoodie sales, shirt and hoodie, 50% of tote bags. Great. So on our fundraising page, first of all, we want to enable fundraising. Right? So I'm going to go ahead, enable fundraising, and save it. Oh, whoops. Sorry, got ahead of myself. I want to enable fundraising, but you want to first you have to set a global fundraising amount. Right now, 2 out of my 3 products are going to be $10 off. So I'm just going to set the global fundraising amount first at $10 by clicking that, and I will click save. Okay. Now, once again, there won't be any changes to this page just yet, right? But if I choose to display my fundraising amount, right, when I hit save here, and I refresh this page, we'll see we haven't raised anything yet, which makes sense because we haven't sold anything yet. Now, if we want to take that a step further, right, we can add a fundraising goal here. Let's say it's $5,000. Right? When I save that and refresh, you can see now we've added a fundraising progress bar, right? Hey, be the first, right? Obviously that be the first goes away after the first sale is made. But as we approach our percentages toward our progress toward that $5,000, this bar will fill up. And hey, you know what? If you hit that $5,000 goal and you want to up it, go right ahead. You can change that. You can edit all of this stuff, the fundraising information at any point. And then last but not least, we have our export data tab here where you can export a summary of all of your orders or do your orders by line item export. And when you click download, that's just going to email a CSV to you, right? And then you can manage it in your Excel, your numbers, your Google Sheets, whatever you prefer. Now let me go back to the fundraising store here because we've made some progress here, right? So we started with this and now we're here, right? Let's switch these up for my brain. So we started with this and now we're here, right? But let's fix up these products, right? Because it's still kind of like, it's like the very technical product names, right? Maybe I want to change up the order a little bit. So what I can do now is if I go to my products tab, let's do the order first, right? Let's say I want to go from the most to the least expensive. So that would be, hoodie, t-shirt, tote bag. To do that, to change the order that my products display, all I have to do is click and drag. That's it. I don't even have to hit a save button here. You'll see the product ordering updated. And when I go back here and refresh, the hoodie switched over. Now, if I want to change the name of the hoodie, for example, I can pop in here and we can just call this Rosati's hoodie. Right. Here's where I can also modify, if maybe I want to actually do, say, $35 or maybe $40, say, for the 3XL and $35 for the 2XL. If maybe I talked that over with my customer and they said it was okay to charge more for the hoodies, we can do that there. Right. You can also manage your variants, add sizes, add colors, etc. Right. But here's where you can also add personalization options. So let's say I want to add, maybe a nickname that we embroider on the chest, right? Or we, heat press on the back, right? And I'm going to say that's going to be an extra $4, right? It's not mandatory, so I won't check that box, right? Or, let's say this one is mandatory, but we'll also give the option for, let's say, a number, right? Maybe it's, like sports themed or something, right? That's also going to be $4, but that's not required. So if you're getting the hoodie, you have to get a name on it, but you don't have to get a number. Obviously, that's just this particular example. Personalizations are not required, but if you give the option, you can make the options required. So I'll go ahead and I'll save that. Right, so you'll see now that says Rosati's hoodie. We'll change this to just Rosati's tee. Right, I'm not going to do personalizations. We'll make an optional first name, for example, at $5. Sort of throwing some stuff on here. And then let's talk about the tote bag, because if we remember, right, $10 of our shirt and hoodie sales are going to go to the staff, but 50% of the tote bag sales are going to go to the staff. So we need to change that, right? And you can see the fundraising method here. As of right now, all of them are $10 per sale. So let's fix that. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go and edit my tote bag, right? We'll switch the name like we've been doing, Rosati's tote bag. Right, so yeah, I spelled that right. Right, retail price. Now, what I want to do here is use a custom fundraising amount. You'll see there's a reminder that the global fundraising amount is $10, but I'm going to turn this on and make my custom fundraising amount 50 cents. Right, so that's done. Again, size, we have size other. Maybe I have like a one size option, color white. I'm not going to do any personalizations here. And then I'm going to save it. So now, when I refresh, right, Rosati's hoodie, Rosati's tee, Rosati's tote bag, right, everything is as it should be. So now let's prep some orders for our fulfillment, right? And we can show you how that customization implements through the checkout process. So I'm going to go ahead. Let me get myself a. So I'm going to get one small hoodie here. Actually, you know what? Keep an eye on the price, because I'll show you if I go to the 3X, that'll automatically change to what it's supposed to be. Number, I don't know, 50, nickname, Steve, or here, let me turn off that, miss that nickname. You'll see required fields do have that required thing. If I try to add this to my cart, I'm going to get an error that says, please fill out this field. So I'll add that to my cart. Right? Maybe I want to get another hoodie, maybe just a medium this time. Nickname, I don't know, Mary. No number on this one. I'll add that to my cart. Just a little tip, you can click the logo to go back to the store. We also have a continue shopping button down here. Let me get myself a large t-shirt for Steve. And then I will get just one more tote bag here. What the heck, maybe I want 3 tote bags, and I'll add that to my cart. And then if I have a coupon code, which I do, because like I said, I'm not paying for these, right? I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there, click my update button, and that's going to wipe out my costs, right? So I got a couple of different products here, and I'm going to go ahead and proceed to checkout. Now, at this point, I can decide if I'm going to have this order shipped to me or if I'm going to pick it up. Let's say I want to pick it up, right? I'm going to go ahead and I'll put, we'll do Steve at printavo.com, Steve L. I'll just do that Printavo address again. Again, you'll see, I'm sorry, I just skipped through that. But for the customer, the purchasing customer, we have that Google autofill as well, right? Now let's say I do suite 5200. Put my phone number in here. Call me if you need anything. And I'm going to put save and continue. Then the pickup office. Cool. So this the pickup method, right, is going to be, hey, which of the options? Now I deleted the White House, if you recall. So I'm going to say, cool. If where do I want to pick it up? I only have one option, so I'm going to save and continue. And then, oh, you know what? Let me actually go back one page to the delivery. Here's that delivery information that we typed in that will begin your order fulfillment 2 business days after, et cetera, et cetera. I'll save and continue. And then, there is that again. Here's an order summary. And when the customer's ready to place the order, they'll be able to do that. Now, I'm not paying for anything, so I'm not going to be prompted for payment. But of course, throughout this process, the customer, put in your card number, etc. And then whichever processor you're using, Stripe, PayPal, Authorize.net, will process that. I realize I also spelled my name wrong, Stevu. But hey, you know what? Great. Someone, we can fix that later. So now let me actually go back to my store and let me just place one more fast order. I'll just get a couple of tote bags here, add that to my cart. And then just for the sake of personalizations, I'm just going to zip through this here. Number 12, nickname Steve, not Stevu. Add that to my cart. I'm going to put my coupon code in again. And then I'm going to proceed to checkout. But this time I'm going to say, let's ship my order. Right? So I'm going to save and continue. And then what's the shipping address this time, right? Well, Steve L, right? 227 West Monroe. I'm going to do that again. Suite 5200. It's going to ask, well, I'm going to put the phone number in real quick. And then it's going to ask the address type. Is it a home or a business? In this case, we'll call it a business, right? And then what billing address? I'll use the shipping address. Great. I'm going to save and continue. Oh, forgot my email. steve@printavo.com. Save that. Then it's just verifying addresses. Now, what I wanted to show you here is the shipping address verification, right? So I put in, I typed in 227, I added suite 5200, but we can use that post office suggested address to help ensure delivery, right? Definitely great for rural areas where maybe the post office has it technically different than the way the person typed it in. So to ensure it gets there, we have that suggested address process. We'll save and continue. And then just like before, we'll go through the checkout process. From here on out, there's no difference other than, oh, I'm sorry, I take that back. Our shipping method, we did flat rate shipping at $0. But again, if you didn't do that, or if you did flat rate shipping at like $5, then this would say $5. Or if you did not do flat rate shipping, then the customer would choose the available shipping options to them that you set up in the store. But we'll go ahead, save and continue. We'll wait for the confirmation, and the confirmation page for the shipping is it's the same order confirmation where it's, you review the delivery information, you review the order itself. And then once we're ready, again, I wasn't prompted for payment because we had $0 flat rate shipping and I use 100% coupon, but the customer would be prompted. But then I'll place my order. And once this refreshes, we'll be good to go. I apologize for my slow home internet today. Has been acting up. But what we can see now, right, because we do have one order in the system. If I go back to my orders, right, what I have to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to refresh my page. And here are my 2 orders, right? Order 1 and order 2. Now, in our next video, I'm going to show you how, actually here, I'll show you real quick. Let me go back to the main page here, right? Hey, we've fundraised $100, coincidentally, a nice round number of our $5,000 goal. So as you can see, we started with this. And with a few clicks that, of course, wouldn't take as long as, me dragging out the explanations. But with a few clicks, we've gone from this, right? We built out a Printavo quote. We clicked a button to create this store. And then with a few more clicks, we made this, right? So nice and easy. Again, in our next video, in our last video, we will show you how to fulfill these orders and how shops do that and the buttons to click. If you have any questions, please reach out to your dedicated success manager or email us at success, success, at printavo.com. If you're not yet a Printavo customer, sales, sales, at printavo.com will be the best avenue for you to connect for a demo or for questions, and we'd be more than happy to help you. Again, thank you so much. We'll see you soon.